Hello everyone, this is Jeremy and welcome to episode 10 of Volcano Block. We made it to the double digits, woohoo! Um, as we get started today, I would like to repeat an announcement I made a couple days ago, but that is that I am now streaming. The pack is FTB Continuum, and I'm streaming that every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on this Twitch YouTube channel. Yeah, streaming time starts at 6 p.m. Pacific and goes for a couple hours from there. So if you're interested in FTB Continuum and you haven't been there yet, come say hi sometime. All right, anyways, let's get on to the Volcano Block. So the next step seems to be that we can start doing Botania-y things and make a petal apothecary out of endstone. All right, that should be fine. We have boatloads of endstone at our disposal thanks to the burst seeds. So, a petal apothecary. It, I guess, takes on the color of the blocks you make it out of. I assume it's just as functional as any other petal apothecary. Upgrade you. Aha. Alright. Let's do this bottom one here, because ender lilies sound interesting. They are not made in the petal apothecary. But they're made on this thingy. Alright. I think we actually have all those resources right here. So, 4 pearls. 1 of these. And 2 seeds. 2 seeds? 1 seed? 4 seeds. And what is the center item? The Eye of Ender. Okay. So it's been a while since I've used this. Let's see if I remember how it works. Something like that, right? Yep, mission successful. Now how do we grow these? Let's consult the book. In fact, I've remembered, now that we have a storage module, basically a backpack, we can store all of our documentation books in here, so I don't have to look for individual books when I need them. Ender lilies, they say they like to teleport to farmland, and they'll even swap places with other types of crops. So I guess to make it not annoying, you kind of want to plant them by themselves, is my takeaway here. Let's try that. Here we go. So plant the seed, and maybe it's too dark here. Let's get some torches. Torch. There we go. Yeah, it teleports around as it grows. Guess that's all there is to it. So that gives us Ender Lily Twine, which can be made into Ender Pearls or other things. But the quest gives us 5 levels. I like it. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to gather a little bit of this, and then we'll move on to the other branch of the quest book. It looks like they also don't grow if they're unable to teleport. So right now I have the entire field here covered, but they don't grow. If I make one spot, then they start teleporting around and growing. In fact, I think each time they teleport, they advance 1 growth state. Pretty cool plant. On the other side here, then, we have to make an evaporator. Zora steel and obsidian ingots. Alright, doesn't look that bad. Do I have it all? I do. Knee pads. That's actually a lot of toughness. So I think the way this works is you just give it water and it turns into items over time. I'm gonna put it here because I have a water pump here. And yeah, that's what it does. It just, every now and then, it turns some water into a piece of mineral salt. Alright. So now that I have more stuff consuming this water, I might have to refill this water tank. I think we're pretty close to being able to make legitimate infinite water sources. But that gives us some food. And then for natron crystals, they look a lot like prismarine, but they're not. And they're made by, I guess, mineral salt plus bone meal. Alright, for this, I really wish I had like a handheld wireless terminal. I love having a wireless terminal, but not meant to be. Bone meal. 1, 2, 3, and 4. These quests are easy. Then we need to make that into gelatin, I presume. Gelatin powder, block of gelatin. You get more than 4 if you have enough fortune. No, that would be a bit of an exploit, huh? Bone drying agent. I don't understand. All right, I'm gonna look through these options and figure out how I'm supposed to be making gelatin. I think I got it. So from these natron crystals, we can make drying agent, get quite a lot out of it. And then with that drying agent, we can make gelatin powder with bones, bit of heat, and water buckets. Bones come from the mob farm where I think skeletons probably drop them. Heat is pretty easy to come by, seeing as how we are surrounded by lava. So let's turn some lava into heat. Handheld portable heat. What more could you ask for? I think this is used in a lot of cooking recipes too. Yeah, it can be used to cook eggs. Yeah, I have a lot of eggs. Well, lots of recipes use heat. Heated water. I could try to make some of this food just for the sake of having better food, I guess. Later. For now, let's use it to make that gelatin. Put that together for the powder. It's a little annoying that you have to swap in the bucket every time. And then with the powder, you can turn it into actual gelatin balls. Aha, there we go. I don't know if I need 4, but I guess it's used to make pure daisies. So it's gelatin, sunflower, powdered chorus fruit, and an ender lily. Can I make sunflower somehow? Sun plus flower makes sunflower. Brilliant. Time has come to harvest our chorus fruit too. It looks like it's fully grown, so I'm gonna harvest a couple seeds in case we need that. But then, oh, yeah, I can get that. Right, if you axe those, you get the seed. Is that how this works? I don't know. Vanilla mechanics. And then we can replant these to grow more chorus flower. Ow. And then I think if I just break this, I get chorus fruit. 8 of them. Perfect. Even more. Gathered up all the materials, so let's put water into our petal apothecary, and then into it throw the 4 ingredients. 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by some vanilla seeds, and then afterwards we can just repeat the recipe a couple times. Probably don't need 4 pure daisies, but I like to make more than we probably need. And one more. Oopsies. One more. Looking at the pure daisy recipes in JAI here, most of these, I mean, these are all the vanilla ones. It can freeze snow, that may or may not be interesting, but it can go wood to living wood and ancient mossy cobblestone to living rock. Wait, does it have to be cherry wood logs? I guess it does. It has to be exactly cherry wood logs and exactly ancient mossy cobblestone. Alright, well, let's get that ancient mossy cobblestone started. I'll just retask our current block there. Instead of making regular cobblestone, I'll make mossy. But how do I need vines for this? Kind of annoying. Alright, bit less annoying. There's an easier way to make vines. If I get these dried seeds, I can then throw them into a mana pool to get vines. Although, I guess for that I need a mana pool, don't I? Hey look, there's a quest here to make a... Oh. Chicken or egg? The other way to make vines is we can craft a little... Ooh, probably shouldn't have used a chorus flower for that. Whatever. Use this to craft vines, and then we can, like, grow them. Alright, fine. Let's grow vines. I think if I just plant this up here, they'll grow, right? Do vines grow in the nether? I'm not actually sure. Third option for vines, grow them from trees. So if I just grow a tall jungle tree, there's room here, right? If I just grow a tall jungle tree, it spawns with vines. And then we can just... Oh, that's a lot of them. Harvest the vines. Maybe I'll get the rest of the tree. I mean, I guess I may as well get the rest of the tree now. Dang it. Well, it's not much, but I'll place a little bit of ancient cobble, or mossy cobble I was able to make and let it turn into... I presume this is how you turn it into ancient mossy cobble anyways. Anyways, the other thing that we needed was cherry wood. I guess we probably just need a cherry wood sapling. How do I make this? We can do apple powder divided by pear. Because otherwise I can't get a... If I can get a cherry wood log. But that wasn't something we made in here, was it? I remember we had to make some type of log. I think the quest book will lead us there eventually. So let's just follow these quests. We have to make tanzanite and amethyst saplings. So these are both done in the atomic calculator. Large tanzanite binder sapling. So one of these. One of these. And 2 saplings. And then the other one is amethyst. What do you call that? Amethyst. Looks like I don't have any yet. That's from separating lapis. Oh, would you look at that? Pasture me on ahead. You may or may not have looked at the quest book as well. Alright, so this is here. I assume the recipes are the same for the both of them. Maybe not. Oh, amethyst is different. It is large amethyst divided by sapling. Of course. Here, let's use our handheld calculator because I can do all of them here. Dynamic calculation. So, large amethyst divided by a sapling. Perfect. And then this one is add them all together. Alright, and that gets us the 2 types of saplings. These are the calculator saplings. EXP and EXP. Then from there we can make a pear sapling by adding the 2 together with endstone, but I'm going to grow each one a couple times just to get, extra saplings. Let them a little bit apart. I think that you can sickle their leaves to get something special too. So let's make a sickle and try that out. It's all grown, and if you gain mine, well, that didn't get us anything. Ah, amethyst leaves. Oh, you have to process them through a stone separator. Whoopsies. Mistakes were made. I'm gonna have to make another amethyst sapling. Is it the same for tanzanite? Yeah. Okay, so I guess we're not at the sickle stage yet. That means I want to shear these. Notice that when you grow the tree over time, the leaves turn from like empty to having things in them. It might be that you have to sickle those. Nope, they still don't do anything. Let's consult our info calculator. And please never put it in here. See what exactly we're supposed to do with these saplings. I know there's like a very specific purpose why they exist. And I just can't recall what it is off the top of my head. Info. Nope, that's telling about the info. Amethyst sapling. Stone assimilator automates it. It yields hunger points when... Oh, it's for their hunger system. Let's see. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. It's basically an alternative to eating. Why it's in the calculator mod, I'll never know. But I think if I just do that, I can harvest the leaves and turn them into saplings. So that was log plus binder plus leaf. This is a slightly cheaper way of making these saplings. Now that I have more saplings, let's take 2 of them and turn them into a pear sapling. So this is another calculator sapling, and that pears are just very good food. I think they can be cooked too. Maybe not. But I guess if I get 2 pears, can be turned into more pears. So if I just plant this, and this one we do need the sickle for. I'm not actually sure if holding shift is growing it or not. Let's just bone meal it. Then again, if it can't be shifted, it probably can't be bone mealed either, huh? There we go. So sickle that, and that gets us a mix of pears and rotten pears. Rotten pears, I think, are just, yeah, they're basically a slime ball alternative. There might be some things that call exactly for rotten pears, but we're going to eat one because we don't know what it tastes like. Tastes rotten. And then these pears we'll just use as food. Hey, we gained 2 hearts. Nice. Another 5 levels. We're at level... what a good level. Alright, so apple powder plus pear makes cherry wood. These recipes make total sense. Apple powder plus pear? No? Oh, divided by pear. My bad. Makes cherry wood. You can harvest this tree. And I think the cherry wood tree, I just want the wood. These trees grow pretty big, so hopefully they also drop saplings. And then I'm going to spend a little bit of time harvesting them. Where the saplings go? Why am I wearing a... What? Why am I wearing a calculator on my head? Shears... Hello? I'm going to relog. Much better. I'm actually wearing armor and not saplings. I'd much rather wear armor. Anyways, turns out we only got 1 sapling off of that, so... it also dropped some cherry peaches, though. We can eat these by the looks of it. Gosh, these chickens, so loud and they keep laying eggs everywhere. After a while, I started getting some spare saplings, so I guess they dropped significantly more than 1 sapling per tree on average. Which is good. That's how you avoid running out of saplings. Alright, that's the cherry wood. So now we have both of the things we need to make living rock and living stone. Let's get started on those. I assume this is all done, yeah? Okay. White tell. But it all vein mined, so there we go. Can I make floating flowers yet? Probably not. I guess I just have to plant these in the ground. Alright, let's do that over here. This is Botania land. For now, I'm just going to do this process manually because we have vein miner. Maybe I'll automate it later. It's pretty easy to automate with integrated dynamics, so if it turns out we need a lot of this living whatever stuff, I'll do it. Anyways, just place the materials, in this case ancient mossy cobble and cherry wood logs around your pure daisies and wait exactly 1 minute. After a minute's up, they'll transform into their other forms. So while we wait, how do we make these? Pretty easy. Where do I get mushrooms from? I guess I can mutate it. I assume the same goes for red mushrooms. We just use mutation paste. Alright. So anyways, let's leave this here and work on those mushrooms. Actually, I think I just heard them transforming. So, my plan is when it's done transforming, actually, do one better. Instead of exchanging it by mining it and placing it again, why don't we use the exchanging gadget? So set the gadget to this, max it out. Surface mode, there we go. And then we do the same with this stuff. I guess it doesn't work on the sideways logs. They have to be vertical. Fix that. But anyways, that makes a rather quick and straightforward way to make a living rock and living wood. I'm just gonna need a bit more ancient mossy cobble because I only had like 30 some pieces. All right, but let's make these flowers first. Do I need both colors? So I need something to make a wand, and I need something to make the endo flame, but that doesn't even use colored flowers. I think I can use either. I have a suspicion that if we need other colors of these petals or flowers, that we'll be able to make them later with the flower that makes them. So anyways, we need a wand now, a wand and a mana spreader. Does that mean I need a fourth flower, or do wands only use two? No, wands only use two. Okay. So, I think this recipe hasn't changed. 3 twigs. And, well, that, so this is like the wrench for Botania. And then a spreader. How convenient. Uses exactly the resources I have left. Oh, just kidding. It's an arcane gold ingot. Fancy. Guess I have some crafting ahead of me. For part of this crafting, we're going to need a new machine, the mechanical squeezer. So in practice, it's just like well, it's like the jump-on squeezer, except it's electrically powered. And we need that to turn prismarine shards into prismarine crystals. No other very easy way to do it. So, unless you can summon guardians, which I guess is a reasonable option. Anyways, I need cable, logic cable. Apparently that's all we can make. The mechanical squeezer has some other... Oh, does it just directly connect? Oh. I think if you put this first, then that, we can configure you to deliver energy. There we go. All right, we'll squeeze this. It's actually pretty quick. It makes these crystals. But another thing this thing can squeeze is... I think it's... or not prismarine, but well, for one, it can get us a lot of dye. But it can squeeze, here we go, mineral wood and get us a whole bucket of mineral resin plus some other stuff. And then we can dry that mineral resin in a drying basin to get blocks of mineral resin. So we can just reuse our drying basin. And this will be a much easier way of getting large amounts of mineral compared to just doing it the old-fashioned way, like growing trees and then chopping the trees. All you have to do is turn on auto-eject fluids, place the drying basin there, and, you know, let a hopper extract when it's done, and then we'll come back here and pick up the products later. It does look like it uses a fair bit of energy. It uses energy faster than we can transport into our energy cell with Ember, at least for now, but oh well. How much does it use exactly? Does it say? No. Oh well. If it turns into a problem, I'll deal with it later. Anyways, now I think we're almost ready to make this. All we need are gas tiers. So I can either core them for 5 per, or I can core blaze rods, or a ender tier and some blood. All are reasonable options. I have a lot of ender tiers. I'll do that one. The fruits of all that work is this, oh dear, how do you pronounce this? Mundabitur? Mundabitur? I don't know. This dust. And then we can turn that dust into... Oh. I need a bit more arcane crystal. How do I make these? Can't make the ore. I guess we have to transmute electric diamonds. 2 left. Alright. And at last we can make arcane gold. I'm just going to make as much as I can, because that's used to make... Let's see. Not interested in any of that. What I want are mana spreaders. Here we go. Yeah. Mana spreader. Alright, I guess we can only make one for now because we only had 1 flower. And we can make the pools now that we have living rock. Cool. I think now we're ready to generate mana. Your first power flower, the Endo Flame. Alright, so we already have these two. Molasses are from cooking raw sugar, huh? Okay. That's just a bunch of sugar canes. Let me go harvest some of those. Apparently there's a second source of farting from Evilcraft. It defaults to off, so if you press P, or whatever the hotkey you have for P is the default there, you can turn it on, and you get an achievement for that. But now I think having both sources of farting on just makes your farting twice as efficient. Double the fart, double the crop growth speed, naturally. With all of this sugarcane, we can now turn it into, what was it? The molasses. Like so. Give me a whole stack of that. And then we just smelt this, I guess, yeah. Smelt away. But of course, we have to eat one piece of raw sugar just to learn what it tastes like. It gave speed, I think. It indefinitely upgraded my speed buff from speed 1 to speed 2. Boom. We are fast. My diamond supply is starting to run a little low. I'm 73 diamonds, 84 pristine diamonds. Many things that use diamonds can just use pristine diamonds. So that's good. But I think this is a good chance for us to make the... Here we go. The diamond sapling. Sounds fancy, huh? So according to the info thingy, this has to be grown on a end diamond block. So I guess it goes something like this. Ooh, fancy particles. And we just grow it. There we go. Oh, it even turns the block into a grass block. And then we wait for the leaves to turn into their like diamondy form, and we can harvest them with a sickle. So there normally is a way to automate it with the algorithm of simulator. However, it's been disabled, so we can't do that anymore. I think all we can do is harvest it manually. So let's leave this here a little bit, and we'll harvest it in 20 minutes once the diamonds start maturing. But for now, let's see. I just have to make some fire diamonds for our flame. So we make another 16 of them. Each fire diamond, though, uses 2 regular diamonds. Very expensive. Okay. And then I'll make, I don't know, let's start with 10 endo flames. Endo flames are something that you tend to use in rather large number because of their because they're individually not very good. They don't produce a lot of mana. Once again, we're back at our petal apothecary. So for this one, it's 2 molasses, one of these, one of those, followed by a seed, and rinse and repeat. So, water, empty hands, seed. 10 times. By this point, I've basically completely given up on my nice, neat grid that I had going over there, and I'm just going to put down stuff on obsidian when I want to build. So anyways, for now I want mana spreaders, a mana pool, build facing that direction. Also have an even number of blocks here left to right, so it can't be centered. Oh well. Point the mana spreader at the mana pool, and since I failed to do that, we can use the wand to actually point it. And then any no flames you place will automatically get linked to the nearest mana spreader. So 10 mana or 10 endo flames, they have a maximum range, but it's pretty high, and they're linked to the mana spreader. To power them, just throw any furnace fuel in their vicinity, and they will burn some of it. And the burn time of the fuel determines how long it actually burns for. put it, turns into mana. You know, the Endo Flames turn it into mana, put it in the mana pool. Let's see if we can come up with a good fuel to burn, though, because this sugarcane charcoal isn't great. So I looked at our options a little bit. We don't really have much coal or charcoal. However, I believe there's a way that we can grow either enriched or purified coal in the calculator mod. Let's pull up our info calculator and see how that works. Let me see. It's in here somewhere. These seeds here, which can be a little hard to see against the background, but the prune seeds, when planted in an advanced greenhouse or better, can yield coal dust, which it basically just grows into coal dust. That's only 1,000 tick burn time. However, we can add coal dust together to make enriched coal, and then that is 5,000 tick burn time. If we want to process that a little bit further, we can go to purified or fire coal. So, let's make some of these seeds. This is pretty easy, I think. Enriched coal plus... well, that's purified coal. What is enriched? It's coal plus redstone. Okay. The seeds are the easy part, though. We then have to plant or make a greenhouse for them to grow in. So, start with a basic greenhouse. But this says they require at least advanced. But the advanced greenhouse is just an upgrade to the basic. 4 of these and then 4 weakened diamonds. So I can either sacrifice a diamond, or I think let's check to see if our diamond tree has grown any. And I can already see some of these are done. So it's right click to harvest, and when you harvest it, you'll get either weakened diamonds or flawless diamonds. I just barely can't reach that. When we get the flawless diamonds, we can use these make fire diamonds in the future in place of using actual diamonds. So like fire diamonds and end diamonds as a result no longer actually cost regular diamonds. Anyways, that's the advanced greenhouse. Now these greenhouses need a multi-block around them to work. It will build itself, but I think we still need the required resources. Here we go. So a bunch of stairs, logs, planks, and glass. To build the greenhouse, supply it with the requisite materials in these slots and hit the build button. It might need power for this step. So let's connect it up. I'm not sure where exactly the greenhouse gets built relative to the controller. So for now, I'm just going to, there's a face available here. We'll link that up. And I might have to move where I do my connections later. But anyways, that should start sending power. Of course, embers for some reason requires that you send a redstone signal to your transmitters. Alright, now build. No? It's saying 0 RF. I guess it doesn't accept power on the front. It wouldn't accept energy on any side when being directly fed from a Ember receiver. So I'm just using a battery here as a buffer. And now it's receiving power. So, build please. Or are you not building? Hello? Maybe I need to raise it up a block? Ah, that's what it is. After clicking the build button, you have to shift click it to begin. I also placed some of the dirt down there. I think it doesn't automatically place the dirt. So once it's done building this, it actually uses the blocks you give it to. So if you want a slightly better, slightly nicer looking greenhouse, give it slightly nicer blocks than this. Anyways, yeah, it doesn't place its own dirt, so you have to place that. I did raise it up a block. And yes. Oh, it does place water though. Alright, so I'm gonna contain this water real quick so it's not spilling everywhere. Now that the greenhouse is built, I think you put a chest right here, which is where it does its input and output to. The entrance is back here. I'm pretty sure you don't actually have to close it off. And we can plant our seeds. maybe we don't plant the seeds ourselves. We might place the seeds in the chest and let it plant them. There we go, yeah. It plants the seeds. Now, I think the seeds... Okay. Well, it threw the seeds on the ground. I hardly consider that planting. I managed to get one of them. I think if I give it to one seed at a time... I'm not quite sure why it's struggling so hard at planting these seeds. I watch it closely, and the seeds are planted, but then they pop off the ground. So it's conceivable that maybe it needs the door. Let's try it again. Nope. What's going on here? Why is this not a proper greenhouse yet? I legitimately have no clue what the problem is. I shift right click it. It says complete. Click the rebuild button. It still thinks it's complete. But I can't plant these by hand, nor can I do that. If you saw the just in the corner there, overshot it. But like they pop off almost as soon as they're planted. So I don't know what's wrong with my greenhouse. Let's demolish it and then rebuild it maybe. Demolish. No, you're not done demolishing it. You haven't even begun demolishing it. Demolish, please. Ah, I figured it out. You need greater than 0% CO2 in your greenhouse to plant these seeds. So to raise the CO2 level, you place a gas lantern and then give it any burnable fuel. And it over time turns the fuel into CO2. I don't know what it means by amount burnt. I assume that's telling me how close it is to completing like the burning of the item, but I don't know what the maximum is. Anyways, this will now start growing our plants for us. So if I'm curious, if I leave the door open, does CO2 like leave? Number is still going up, so I don't think the door actually being there or not, or being open or not, makes a meaningful difference. But now if I put an output chest here, as those plants get fully grown, they should they should go into the chest, and we can use their output both to power the CO2 generators in here. In fact, I made 8 total, so I may as well put them all to use. And we can use the extra fuel that it produces to power our endo flames. I think in addition to the growth rate being boosted by the amount of CO2 in here, you can also fart on them. And it looks like the greenhouse automatically replants the seeds too. Probably because when it harvests it, the seeds go into the chest. That serves both as input and output. So I'm going to sit here, fart on these plants for a bit. I mean, your fart contains plenty of CO2, right? Does it? I don't actually know. But this will be our source of burnable fuels from now on. If I need more, I can, set up these greenhouses can plant like any plant. So you can also use it to grow just vanilla seeds. But I don't think there's any plant that I need grown tremendously bad. Uh-oh. Seems we are once again out of CO2. No? Why are these popping off now? Dang it! What's the matter? Are they like too far from the CO2 generators? Yeah, that appears to be the case. They have to be within X blocks of a gas lantern to be happily planted. So right now this thing is 80%, 90% CO2 inside. I'm sure if I was actually an air-breathing human, that would be extremely unpleasant. But why is it still popping off? I guess that one is just too far. Let me move lanterns around a bit more. Alright, that seems to have actually fixed it. So I have some lanterns everywhere spread out across here, and all the crops are growing. So I'm gonna sit here, hold shift for 30 seconds. Actually, that's probably enough. Let's get the roots of our labor here. Coal dust. So coal dust burns for 100 ticks by default, but we can double, or if we combine 2 of them, it goes to 5,000. So 2,000 becomes 5,000. It's a bit more than doubling. And I think the amount burned here is in percent. So if I just switch these over to burning this fuel, a couple pieces of it will last a very long time. Because right now, right, it's burning 800 tick fuel, and this is 2,000 ticks. Or 5,000 ticks. Much more than 800. And then we can take the rest of our coal and toss it here to the endo flames and let them burn it to produce mana. Now, the item still despawns after 5 minutes, so I still have to set up like an automated dropper system to drop it as needed. But we'll do that later because we're out of time today. So, we are producing mana, and it's only using the fuel that is fully renewable. So I think we're in a good shape. But we'll pick up from here next episode, and runic altar, runes, so on and so forth, all the way up to Terra Steel. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.